Nice. Here we are. And we are live, everybody. We're
Hi,
live. We're
everybody.
live. Marco and Michael.
Margo, share your screen with me.
I probably am sharing my screen with you. It just, I was like, no, not this time.
I want to see you.
My screen is sharing with you.
Oh, great. Now it's just me. Hey, guys, look. There's nothing here.
Yeah, he got
Oh,
robbed, everybody.
yeah. Here's the truth. Kendall left me and took all of the stuff of mine that she told you guys she hated, but she actually really liked it. So she took all my fig pins.
Well, I see why she left you that shirt, though.
What do you got against the equality?
Nothing. I was trying to find a joke of like, you know, that would go like, at least she left you, that shirt.
What you don't know is she didn't leave me any pants. That's why it's cut off right here.
Ah, there we go. All right, everybody. I'm Marco Guerrero, and this is Marco Guerrero presents Fun with Autographs. I was like looking over at the screen to read that off.
But I always do it the wrong way. It's down there. Fun with autographs.
Dun, dun, dun. And
Dun,
our
dun,
special
dun.
co-host, Michael Berkowitz.
Hey, everybody.
Let us know
We
how.
are alive.
Let us know how the audio is.
Yeah. I'm sitting on the floor in the area that used to be where we would record. So I wanted to give you guys a sign of life. We are alive.
If you're on YouTube, let us know. Post something in the comment, just so we can see what's going on. So, what was in the news this last couple weeks? Because it's been we missed last week. I fell asleep at like 2 p.m. that day and didn't wake up till like 10:30. So, and then I get this message: "Do you want to go live?" And I'm like, "That was like 4 hours ago, and I was asleep, so no."
I think we were going to talk about Dexter,
Dexter.
which Kendall's very excited about. Worked out really well for us. You know, Zobi just did the Michael C. Hall signing. Um, so Kendall has a Jennifer Carpenter, Michael C. Hall autograph on the way. And 2 days after he does the signing, they announced Dexter's coming back for I think it's, what is it, a 10 episode?
10 episode, yeah.
Is it like so I've never watched Dexter. Don't hate people in the comments. Like, be nice. I've never watched Dexter. But part of the reason is that they were always like, the ending sucked.
Yeah.
And so is this kind of like a let's fix the ending, 10 episodes?
Well, part of it too was that he had cancer. That he was dealing with cancer, and so it's
Like in real life?
in real life, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
so I don't know if they knew exactly like what the situation was going. So I think that might have been one of the reasons why they just went ahead and ended it, the way they did.
Okay.
And then how like with certain medicines and certain people, like they've gotten better. Like Michael J. Fox with his Parkinson's, he was MIA for like good 10 years.
Yeah.
And then now, he's started making his comeback. And so I guess they feel like, they're in a good place where you can do 10 episodes and kind of put things together. But yeah, I mean, it was an ending. But like most things, I don't think there's ever. I mean, we can do a debate on here, but how many shows has the ending like people actually been happy with?
So that's like, okay, so I'll give you a really good example. Did you ever watch, were you ever into How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, did you finish it?
I did, but I don't really remember the ending. I kind of do.
Okay, so, I mean, this show's been off for long enough, so spoiler alert right now, if you've never watched How I Met Your Mother, mute me for like 30 seconds. But long story short, the whole show called How I Met Your Mother, the last 2 episodes, he meets the mother, and then in the finale, it's about him realizing that he's actually been in love with Robin the whole time.
Right.
And that, like, there's so I feel like you have it's one of probably the most divisive endings because you have a group of people, and I'll tell you, I'm in Group A, that I love that finale. I will admit wholeheartedly, the scene in the finale with Barney and his kid, I cried. Hey,
Hi.
we have a special guest. Are you going to join us?
I really need to cook. So.
Okay. Well, I'll tell Marco we'll get to the curated part, but we're just talking about finales. We're talking about Dexter coming back. Here, Marco, you're gonna have to adjust the camera.
All right, then let's adjust away.
There you go. So you can hear.
All right.
Everybody, Kendall's here. She's alive too.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Kendall. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes.
Cool.
So anyway, so we were talking about Dexter coming back and how excited you are, but then we talked about the fact that it's kind of like fixing an ending, and
Which you don't know.
which I don't know. So then we were talking about how I Met Your Mother. There's a group of people. I'm in Group A who thinks the ending was perfect, and then there's Group B who hated the ending. And
I don't think anybody liked the ending of Dexter.
Well, that's what the whole debate was that started was how many people of shows that had proper endings, right? How many people actually enjoyed them?
Yeah.
Like, there's very few, I think, people will be like, yeah, I enjoyed the ending of that series. Endings are hard to write. You know what I mean? Especially when they're beloved and everything, is everybody has their own fan service ending.
Yeah. I really like the ending of 6 Feet Under. I think that's the best finale I've ever seen.
Didn't watch that show either.
I watched it,
So
but I don't remember it. Like, that's the problem. I watch so much stuff, right, that I end up blurring them down the road later, and like my memory is horrible and
I
whatnot.
feel that.
But
I don't remember. Are you up to speed on? Are you current on Supernatural? Or have you watched the new 2 episodes?
they've released them already.
Yeah, there's 2 out now,
I am not.
and the third episode I think is tomorrow night.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely. I'll be 3 behind then.
Yeah. So
I've been insanely busy with everything going on.
yeah.
I just got voted to be on the board, the creation board for the Spakra Foundation, which is
What
a
the heck is that?
cryptocurrency.
Okay.
It's kind of like a guild of pool operators. And so there was a vote, and I won the board seat for. And so we're in the process of creating that.
That's awesome, man.
And it's just life, and I've been sleeping like 10 hours a day. And then by like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I'm just exhausted. And so I pass out. And then I wake up.
You might be pregnant. That's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, that's exactly my life right
That
now.
would,
You
that
might
would
be
explain
pregnant.
a lot. But
Do you have an insatiable craving for In-N-Out Burger?
I hate In-N-Out Burger.
That's all I want right now.
I live by one, but I hate them. Every time I used to go, because when I would go to LA to do signings, there's a hotel that I would stay at because they have a really big breakfast area, right? That they don't use during the rest of the day. So I would do all the signings there because they would let me just use the space, and so the actors would come, and it was right next to the In-N-Out Burger. And I would try it every year. Like I would go, because at least once a year, and I'd try In-N-Out. I'm like, I can't. It's just not me. I'm the same. I don't like White Castle either. Like I'm super picky when it comes to that.
I'm not a big fan of White Castle. I think White Castle is very
Too many onions.
Oh well, it's literally cooked in onion sweat.
There you go.
Anyway, all right. So since we have,
let me say one thing about Dexter. If anybody wants cheap Dexter autographs, right? Just go to eBay and look up the trading cards. The company that did them, right? They were struggling for official licenses for a long time, and the only license that they could really get was Dexter. So they did like complete cast signings every year for like 7 or 8 years. So the market should be flooded with Dexter autograph cards from every actor in the series ever.
Interesting.
So, and I'm guessing that they've got to be cheap as hell because I mean the Michael C. Halls, he signed a few hundred, every year for them. And then they would also do 2 or 3 releases a year. And like I said, the only license that they had was Dexter, pretty much.
Well, there's your Dexter autograph tip of the day.
So, like I said, if you want to collect Dexter autographs for cheap, I would look those up.
Trading cards. They probably took a spike with the announcement of the show coming back, though. You know how eBay sellers are.
Probably, but at the same time, there were just so many of them.
Yeah. All right. So since we have Kendall, before she leaves to go cook, you want to tackle curated boxes first?
All right. Let me get a piece of paper. Now this one's a little bit different, but this is basically gonna show everybody how the curated boxes work. And for you that remember. If you go to Autograph.deals, right, we have different levels of autographs packs, right? There is, I think, 80, 160, like 380, and then there was like the $500 box. Mm-hmm. And basically, you buy the box, right, or multiple boxes. I send out a survey asking you a bunch of questions of things that you like, don't like, how you kind of want the box. And then based on your answers, I build up a custom box from the stuff that I have custom for you. I've done some of these in the past. In the past, I think there was basically, like $50 or $70, and then every one you bought just kind of doubled, and so on and so on. And you know me, I'm not one that likes to say guaranteed values and this or that, but I put a lot of effort into these boxes, and so they're a lot of fun. So
I had heard this is something you used to do kind of a lot of times around
Black Friday.
Black Friday, right?
Yeah.
So before I joined Autograph of the Month Club, when I was doing research, that was one of the big things that would pop up on those trading card boards. Was Marco's curated boxes and how people would be literally up in arms if they missed out on it.
Right.
So I definitely had heard some good things.
But
David Pratt, I don't know what you're asking about catching that email. If you're talking about the website, it's Autograph.deals. Autograph.deals is where the curated boxes are currently up at.
Let me go. I can actually just add that right there.
Stand by. Marco is adding text. So originally, Autograph.deals is where Kendall and I joined Autograph of the Month Club when Marco had his basically pre-order sale where we pre-ordered 2 years of Autograph of the Month Club. But right now, the Autograph.deal is these curated boxes. And the truly epic, which I like the wordplay there because of truly authentic. So the truly epic box is the big boy.
And I have, over 15, 16 years worth of just stuff. I mean, you see the prints on the background, figures,
Which box does that Mario come in?
Oh, that's in the $10,000 box.
Got it. Nice.
Actually, if you look them up on eBay, I think there's at least 1 or 2, and they usually go for about $4,000. It's insane.
I saw somebody on. Have you seen the giant Batman Funko statues, kind of like that a lot of Funko stores got sent to them?
No.
Have you seen those?
I'm not a
they're
Funko person very much, so.
It's about the same size as your Mario, but it's a Batman. I mean, it's massive. We saw one. Remember the store that we went into on one of our road trips? It was that store. I think it was something B, and they had it was a little pop store, and they had the giant Batman statue.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So somebody just posted they broke into this person's store and stole just that statue.
See, that's where they've gotten all these little cool like tags, right?
Yeah.
That have GPS in them, and Apple has a now too. They released this year, and then you can put tags inside things.
Oh yeah, and then just start tracking where things
And
go.
yeah, it uses the same software of
Yeah.
where's Find My Phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have stuff like that or posters or prints or something like rare like that, you can put one of those little tags on them. But so when you order one, basically one of these boxes, I'll send you out a survey. I haven't sent any out yet. I'm just collecting them for right now. And then but I thought we'd do one on air, kind of like a questionnaire.
Yeah, so the idea was we'd show you guys we bought a box, so we'd show you guys kind of the survey live. So, and that's why Kendall's here, so she can give her opinion and get some stuff that she likes.
Cool.
All right. So the first question is, so I'm gonna put both of you guys on here. So I'm gonna write M and K. So on the questionnaire, I'll get both of your guys' answers.
Ooh. Just make sure hers are bigger because her opinions are more important than mine.
We'll see. All right. So first question is, quality or quantity? Like, do you want like a box of $500 like worth just of a ton of stuff, or do you want like one or two things, but they're like it could be something that you like hang up on your wall and have it for a long time?
Well, actually, I think that it will probably be unified on this one as quality because we've actually been moving a lot of our lower autographs to trade up or get money to buy bigger. Like we traded, I think, 6 autographs for a Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been trading quantity for quality. What do you think?
Yeah, I think quality too. It's better, I think, to have one really nice piece than to have 5 not so nice pieces.
Okay.
For those people just tuning in, because I saw we spiked up a little bit, we are doing our survey for our curated box live. Now, this is if you buy a curated box at Autograph.deals, Marco will send you this survey, obviously in an email, and you won't get to do it live. But we're kind of just doing ours live just to kind of show you guys the type of questions he's going to ask.
All right. So we got quality on both. Quality. Okay. Now, how are you guys with superhero stuff like DC, Marvel? Good, bad, like it, don't like it?
So for me, I think I tend to side more with Marvel, but DC-wise, I side more with the TV shows on CW.
No, I just meant
So
like
that's
in
one of
general. Are you a superhero person? Like,
Oh.
do you like Marvel and DC? Not like which one, but are you like pro Marvel DC stuff?
What do you think?
I mean, I like it. I'm not really into it. It's not something that I spend a lot of time on, but I've seen all of them, and I like them okay.
What about like the older stuff versus the newer stuff? Like vintage stuff.
I think we're more into the newer.
I don't know anything about.
Are you
the
talking
other
just?
stuff.
Are you talking just superhero?
Yeah.
Superhero. I think we're more into the newer. Like I said, our big thing is we watch all of the CW shows together.
Okay.
That's like our couple thing is the CW superhero shows, the Flash, Arrow. That was one of the first things we bought from Marco for Kendall. Was Kendall got her Stephen Amell from Marco. So
Nice.
that is it. It's framed and hung above our bed. So as Kendall lays there, she can just look at his shirtless body.
You're a better man than my brother-in-law. My sister, I got her a bunch of the Vampire Diaries, the Ian Somerhalder autograph.
Oh, Kendall loves Vampire Diaries.
And made out to him, right? made out to her, and she would hang it up, and then like the next day it would just go missing. And then she'd have to like find it, hang it back up again, and then like another couple days it'd go missing. And she just
Oh my god.
like he.
That's so funny.
So you do like Vampire Diaries? You said the originals,
Yeah.
Vampire Diaries.
So I love the original. We both watched all Vampire Diaries and originals. Fun story. So when we first got together, Kendall actually hurt her back at her job, and she was like down for the count for a while. And so we literally would just cuddle on the couch for hours watching Vampire Diaries.
Yep. We got through the whole thing.
Now, do you guys do? I know you guys do 8x10s and other things. Do you do trading cards at all?
No, we don't collect any cards.
Okay.
I have one card in my collection, and it's a Wayne Gretzky rookie card.
That's the guy who was a kicker for that one
Yeah, nailed it.
one team that hit all those home runs.
Yep, that's it. That's the guy.
I do know who Wayne Gretzky is a hockey legend. I was making a nerd joke.
Are you now you're just saving face for all the people in the comments going, "What is he talking about?"
I just want to be clear. I know who Wayne Gretzky is.
So just while we're going through, David Pratt says he enjoys vintage, but some of the newer stuff. And then Vlad, we have Vlad in the chat from Zompire, and Vlad likes quality and the 80s cartoons.
Nice. Like I said, I have stuff pretty much in all of these categories, so it's one of those things that like. What about Power Rangers?
That was big for I was into Power Rangers. I have several of them signed on Pops though. The original ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have I think I have like 3 Jason David Frank autographs, and then I have Amy Jo Johnson, Blue Ranger, Red Ranger, I forget their names right now. Austin St. John. I grew up on Power Rangers. She never really did. That was
Nope, I'm not a Power Rangers person at all.
Did you watch a lot of TV growing up, Kendall? Like, did you have a lot of favorite shows, or like, when was it that you started getting into this kind of stuff?
Well, this kind of stuff, like autographs and all that, all started with the channel pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really am not, even now, I'm not a huge autograph person. It's just not, like, plants are my thing. Not really this kind of stuff. But growing up, I watched a lot of SpongeBob. That show was my jam. That's all I can think of right now. That was, like, my main show.
so her thing, she grew up like you asked the question about vintage. So any old Bette Midler movie, she's probably seen it and loves it. Rocky Horror Picture Show. She grew up on that stuff. On the basically nowadays cult classic type stuff.
What? Okay, let me ask you this: what would, if I said name 5 TV shows that you grew up loving and 5 movies you grew up loving? What would you answer?
Oh, my. Out of the box. Okay, we're talking like being a kid?
No, just in general in life, teenager, kid, young adult, whatever.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's a good one.
Ghost Whisperer. SpongeBob. Dexter. And 6 Feet Under. Probably. And movies. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Cyrano de Bergerac.
Wait, what was that
No
one?
one ever knows.
Cyrano, it's do you remember Steve Martin did that movie Roxanne?
Yeah.
It's the real story about that.
That's like
Cyrano.
the serious version.
Yeah, the
It's
serious
French.
version.
Oh, I've watched. There's the new one, right? Wait, Roxanne's the one about where they're.
The guy with the big nose.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Gypsy.
Anything Bette Midler.
Yeah, really anything Bette Midler, but especially Gypsy. What else do I like?
Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Would you look this?
No, she
No.
don't. You're gonna make people mad at her. Don't bring up Labyrinth.
It really freaks me out. Really bad. I can't think of any more. If I do, I'll mention them.
Okay, so what about you, Michael?
All right, so for me, TV shows, I think you and I have talked about it before. Stuff like Lost will always be a top one for me. Lost, How I Met Your Mother, Heroes, those types of shows. I think you and I called them kind of the culture changing
Right, so I got Lost,
shows.
How I Met Your Mother.
Heroes. And then basically the CW shows, and then obviously Supernatural is one of my favorites. Movie wise,
Well, let me ask you a question. Are you into comic books at all?
we have some comic books. The ones that stay actually in our physical collection are very, like, our physical collection consists of basically Todd McFarlane and Stan Lee.
The funny thing is, it's like the very first comic I ever got was the Spider Dash Man by McFarlane. So I've been waiting to buy like whatever the platinum one, whatever, because that was the first time that they did like variant covers for everything, right? At that
Yeah.
time, and so I've been wanting to just go buy one and like display it just for, just to be like, yeah, when I was a kid, this was the one that I really wanted. But all right, so Supernatural, CW, How I Met Your Mother, Heroes, Lost. Okay, and you said like movies.
So movie wise, that's tough. So I have what I consider like my top 5 movies. I mean, you and I have talked about it before. Pan's
But go
Labyrinth.
more like you said Pan's Labyrinth, but also like that are kind of a pop culture crossover in a sense.
Yeah, pop culture crossover. So things that I would like. Obviously, like Kendall, Rocky Horror Picture Show is a big one. Ooh. Try to think of some other ones. I think Thor Ragnarok is probably the best Marvel movie ever made. Takai Waititi's a genius.
We really like horror.
Yeah, a lot of horror. But I'm trying to think pop culture-ish wise movies that I...
Mortal Kombat.
Kendall loves Mortal Kombat. That's really a guilty pleasure.
I really do.
Okay. What about like the original Batman movies and series with Adam West and Burt Ward?
Oh, I mean, Adam West is a legend. We actually got an autograph from Burt Ward when he was doing his dog food company stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, Adam West is a legend. The original, like obviously, a big movie for us that we didn't talk about is Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
Beetlejuice is a big one. That's a great one. I know. Xerxes has put himself in the crib. That's what we keep looking to the right.
All right. What are you guys' thoughts of like on prints and stuff? Kind of like like I have in the background that are limited to like limited edition. Very unique.
Oh, like art prints?
Yeah.
We actually, so when we first got into this, Kendall will tell you, I was collecting art prints like crazy.
Like Mondo ones.
And then Huh?
Like Mondo ones or like Mondo?
Like art prints that came in boxes.
Yeah, just like the artist.
Yeah.
I would go into Artist Alley, and when we would go to Comic Cons, I'd go into Artist Alley and buy some art prints and those kind.
Okay.
As far as the collectible art prints, I don't think we have any.
Cool. So, like for
We got-
example, like see the big Trouble Little China behind me.
Yeah,
You know, there's only like of that version. There's only like 50 of them in the world.
that's
And
crazy.
same with like see this is The Last of Us behind the little
Okay.
horse of one of the zombies with the fungus. You know,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
that one was an Ollie Moss from San Diego Comic Con, and for example, like that one goes for about $800.
That's
And
crazy.
I think it's limited to like 100, 150, something like that. But I have insane amount of rare prints and stuff like that.
There's 25 of them in the world, and Marco has 20.
Nah, I wasn't very big, like, on collecting multiples of stuff. It's like the same reason why I don't watch a lot of the same shows over and over again.
Yeah.
But you, okay. Now, did you guys ever end up with any Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff?
Oh God, Kendall has a Kendall horror. So we have Tim Curry, but Kendall will tell you she will take as much Tim Curry as she can get. She hoards Tim Curry. But we still have not gotten any of the. She has one Barry Bostwick.
Is it
Or
the
two
underwear?
Barry Bostwick. No, she does not have a pair of his underwear.
I was looking when we did that one interview that one time. I actually did a COA for the underwear once at a show.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know that that's his thing is to sign the tidy whities.
Yeah.
I have all the Rocky Horror Pops.
Yep.
Not signed, but
Being cool to get them all. I know, Riff Raff is almost impossible to get signed because he's overseas. But really quick, don't want to ignore people. We got Arcade Pop is in here, and we got Jimmy. Good to see you, Jimmy. And then we've got. Oh, Vlad brought up a great one, Princess Bride. That's a great call there.
Yeah, I would show you. I have a super rare Princess Bride print.
Yeah, you can definitely put Princess Bride down for us. We met the entire cast.
It's
Well, not the entire
it's
cast,
the jewel of my collection. Let's see if I can find online. Let's see.
Great, now I'm tangled in your hair. Are you trying to find a picture of it?
Yeah, let's see, Princess Bride.
look at his hair sticking out the top.
That's an ear.
Not on the top of his head.
Oh, that, yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh yeah, you can see my page, huh?
Yeah, I can see what you're doing.
Let's see here.
That's super cool.
Oops. All right, so I'm going to bring it up on screen here. But there's this artist. She's the most in demand artist right now in the world, pretty much. Aside from like Drew Struzan.
Yeah,
And I collect pretty much solely now just her artwork.
it's really pretty.
Where to go?
By the way, while you're doing that, I should state, while Kendall has her feelings about Labyrinth, I love Labyrinth. Labyrinth is way up there for me. That is some of the art that I still have is Labyrinth artwork.
Oh, it downloaded like a whole folder of stuff.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
not
cool.
really a great photo of it, but
It's gorgeous though. So that's what you have.
yeah, I can't believe that. I could have swore I just downloaded a better version. Anyways, yeah, it's the detail work that she puts into it is like those fine, sketches or well, there's like 20 or 30 scenes within the photo itself,
Yeah.
right? Like, and she does it in such a way that it's all blended together that it isn't overwhelming on top of the overall. It's like if I was to put the people who design, posters and prints, it would be Drew Struzan, right? Who did, all of the 80s, 90s movies, prints, posters,
Yeah.
and then her. And
Yeah. I think that picture's super cool. I like that a lot.
yeah, I'll have to show, but
Paul agrees also. Paul loves Princess Bride.
yeah, it's to me it's the perfect movie. It's like I don't.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, if you're ever gonna remake it, who would you have in it? I'm saying if you were, not that you would, because I know there's people that say that's blasphemy. But if you were, how about John Leguizamo as
Inigo?
huh?
Inigo Montoya?
No,
As who?
I can't remember. The Sicilian. What's his name?
Oh, as Sean Wallace's character?
Yeah,
Or Wallace Shawn?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. Gosh, you have any ideas of who would you cast as Carrie Elway's character? That's a tough one.
Idris Elba.
Oh God. You just want to see him in movies. Kendall has an infatuation with Idris Elba.
I've loved him for a long time as well. The Wire is probably one of my all-time favorite movies. I just got a custom print for The Wire in probably last month.
Yeah, Kendall is infatuated. I don't think that her mouth closed for the entire movie of Hobbs and Shaw, just because of him.
What about? So I'm guessing you're a fan of Luther.
No, we haven't watched Luther, have we?
Which one's Luther?
Oh, it's his Sherlock Holmes series on Netflix, where it's like.
Oh no, we have.
If you like Dexter, and you'll love. There's a serial killer woman, right? And he like befriends her, and he's like a cop. And
It's an Idris Elba show.
yeah, it's his own show. There's like 4 or 5 seasons, and each season's about 3 or 4 episodes. It's done a lot like Sherlock.
I'm missing out.
I don't know, I need to watch it.
Yeah, it's all on Netflix, but it's called Luther.
Did you see the meme? Somebody put out the meme of it said your goal is to become a hero long enough to turn into Sherlock Holmes, and then it has a picture of Robert Downey Jr. What's his name from Man of Steel, and Benedict Cumberbatch also, because all of them have played a Sherlock Holmes now.
Right.
It's super funny. It was a really well done meme.
I'll take your word for it. All right. All right. Anything else you can think of?
Anything you need to throw in there extra?
Bette Midler would be great.
You already said.
See. I'll tell people right now. If people ask for specific things, I'll make it a point not to include them. I think out of sheer, like, hey, this is my fun. I get to make this box for you and surprise you.
Yeah.
So if you take the fun out of it by telling me what to put in it exactly, then I'll be like,
Here's what I'm excited. So I'm excited to see what you do for both of us, but I know you and I talked about this before. We are pretty much in agreement on most things pop culture,
Right.
on the importance that they have on our fan. I think that that's one of the reasons that both Kendall and I feel that Autograph of the Month Club has been hands down the best for us on what we get. Because when I say we're like thinning our collection, those other boxes that we do, those other monthly boxes, we are taking those autographs most of the time and flipping them, selling them, to trading them to obtain higher name autographs. Autograph of the Month Club is the only one that we don't do that with. We've kept the from Annabelle to I don't know. We talked about I don't remember which ones we've talked about, and I don't want to spoil any.
Well,
But the
I
Supernatural.
figure next week we can talk about
Supernatural.
yeah.
Yeah, and then this month, my God, like this month was absolutely amazing. So for us, I think that your taste is what makes a curated box exciting.
Like I said,
Because I know that you have what you have in your collection. You and I have talked about it before on here and off of here, that you obtain autographs for people that you like.
right.
And so sometimes that's the lead person, or sometimes that's a secondary actor, but they did so well.
Yeah. Well, it's hard too sometimes because like I've had to pass up a few that I've wanted to do, just because they don't really fit that pop culture niche, you know. But
Yeah.
like sometimes, man, it's hard, especially when you do somebody like say like when I did the collage one, I think I got pretty good feedback from the collage, but some people are like, I wish it would have been this from this show, or I wish it would have been from this movie.
That was a tough one though, because that person had done so much, and your taste on that.
Well, that's the problem is like that no matter which one I pick, there'll be at least two people that are like, or there'll be some people that are like, yeah, I wish you would have went this way or that way, and that's why I try to
Yeah.
tell people like, hey, look, that's why everybody gets the same one. I can't. Everybody's
Yeah.
taste is completely different, and so like I'm running into that problem this month, and we're going to talk about the variants for this month soon. But like this person's been in a lot of things, right? But really
Mhm.
isn't known for any one thing, right? At least last month's signer was been in a lot of stuff, but was really known for one particular thing.
Known for that one.
Like really, really known. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I gotta say, Vlad over in the bunker called me out. He's right. So I can't throw out Zompire. Zompire is great. They do, like, when I was talking about Autograph of the Month Club, I'm talking about this line of autographs, and Zompire is kind of in their own lane with the true crime. The true crime always blows Kendall in my mind, what they include in those boxes. So he's 100% right on that. Those are insane.
we might actually have a true crime guest person on our show one of these days.
I know you and I have talked about it. Vlad will be excited about that. You and I have talked about having this person on as a guest.
I mean, I'm not in the true crime market. I just know this person, personally. So
They kind of branched the pop culture true crime
well,
overlap.
that's the thing about there's a niche for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's people that do political autographs, historical autographs. There's people like my dad who collects coins. Like for the life of me, I mean, yeah, it's a quarter, right? It's going to be worth a
Yeah.
quarter. If sure, that might be worth 2 quarters one day, but it's still a quarter. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, you never know. Right now, I'm saving. I have a jar actually in our bedroom. Did you ever watch Luke Cage?
yeah,
So the swear jar that they had in the barbershop.
Yeah.
I have a replica of that. We actually bought it because we were supposed to meet Mike Coulter at Comic-Con in Portland, but he canceled because of Evil. And we were going to get that swear jar signed by him, and it's kind of our piggy bank. And that thing right now, it's pretty good size. It's like this, and it's full of coins. And I'm holding on to them because with the coin shortage, I feel like I'm going to like have the next, this is the next big thing.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to need my coins.
No. Well, I mean, for example, you know how we talk about.
Okay. She's going to go cook.
Okay.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ugh. That's the way we operate here.
Oh yeah, I never do.
This is like the one time she's cooking, so I can be like, yeah, get in that kitchen and cook dinner.
God.
I think I have a good idea of what I can pack. Like the problem is I could probably do 5 boxes for you guys.
Oh, I'm sure. Like I said, I feel like for you and me, I don't think that the curating a box for us is going to be difficult for you, because
I've even got
know
something
a lot
for
of
the baby that you guys will love and the baby will love that you can put right next to the baby's crib.
Oh, that's awesome. Give baby Burke stuff. I know like a lot of the stuff you do, you go to the Paley Fest, and most of the shows that are shown at Paley Fest are the shows that you and I are into.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this. I think if anybody is on the fence about it, I just put your trust in Marco. He's got an immense amount of stuff. Just look at the history of Autograph of the Month Club. It's insane. So
Yeah, and that doesn't even include the stuff that I have never listed. Personal stuff. I mean, because I went to Comic Cons, got exclusives, cool stuff. I've had things done limited wise that then I just never ended up releasing. But yeah, I think I've got a cool box and whatnot in mind.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that you're gonna knock it out of the park. I'm excited for it.
All right.
Now that Kendall's out of the room, I'm not excited for when she finds out that I bought the big box.
Oh. So you haven't told her yet exactly how much the box was.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the fact that I bought the big box yet, when I've been getting scolded probably daily as boxes arrive of, we have stuff to buy for the baby. And I'm like, nah, it's okay.
Well, in those type of situations, I look at my crypto wallet and I see like, Bitcoin went up like $2,000 today from like 10,000 to 12,000, and my ADA went up another, 10%. So I'm like, crypto, just keep going up.
Yeah, I'm not in that situation though.
I'm like, I see the crypto dollars and I'm like, yeah, I feel better now. But give me 1 second.
Now, for what everybody's been waiting for, we're going to talk about November's signer and variants. And you know what variants mean? Variants mean hints. And so while Marco's setting this up, I will remind everybody that in the bunker, we will, tomorrow's question of the day will be Autograph of the Month Club related, and it will be for us to try to guess who the signer is. And I can tell you that Marco may make it more difficult because we've been doing a very good job.
Yeah, you can say that.
So I think Marco's going to make it a little bit more difficult on us.
I have made it more difficult, I think.
Uh-oh.
But let me see. I want to get you so that we can see you on here.
Nice. Just don't make me the pug again. Michael Minton still has that photo, and he sends it to me.
What's crazy
every once
is
in a while.
on my crypto podcast, right? I have the Mario in the background, right? And so I
Uh-huh.
I usually do an interview with somebody from the Cardano world, and I always
Uh-huh.
ask them, questions about uh, how they got into computers, their first time with a computer, blah blah blah. It's more of a get to know them type of show to kind of
Yeah.
personalize the industry in itself. And so I've been
Yeah.
doing I do a 1 minute intro to each interview of just me telling a story
Mm-hmm.
about how I got my first computer. So last video was about my first time building or upgrading the PC, right, that I had got. But I
Okay.
started off with like a bunch of innuendos, like it was. So I'm going to tell you about my first time, right? Then I started going into the story, and what I
Yeah.
would do is every time I would do like an innuendo, I would do an emoji over Mario's face, like the blushing emoji or like the
Uh,
confused emoji. And so, because they have these like round circle emojis in the editing software that fit right on his
yeah.
face, and I can size it so just like his face changes to the emoji.
That's
So,
awesome. What do you use? Are you using
no, I
Wondershare like
have
we
this
talked
thing
about, or are
called
you using something different?
MOVAVI suite.
Okay.
But all right, so we're gonna flip over to this other screen. So
Here we go, people.
this is the hint. It's a female actress. This is for the add-on, right? So everybody gets
The
the
variant.
normal autograph, right? It's just going to be a photo of her signed. Then we have the variants if people want to get something a little bit more specific. So this would be the supernatural themed movie that she starred in. And so this would come from that.
And I've already gone to autographofthemonthclub.com or autographofthemonth.com. I've already gotten my variant, so I know you put on there that she's actually the lead in the
Yes,
supernatural theme
she
movie.
is one of the leads in the movie.
Okay. So that's one of the hints is she's a lead in the supernatural theme movie. So when you talk about the normal autograph, is the normal autograph from a movie or is it more just a photo
It's just
of
a photo of
her?
her. I wanted her to do a
Okay.
collage because she has been in so many things. But the thing is they kind of her characters and her character looks are not that different in all of her movies. So it's like so
There we go.
you know
There's
what
a
I mean?
hint we
It's
just
just
got
like
out of
at
Marco.
least with the one a couple months ago, that character looked different in like all of his stuff, right? But she seems to look the
Yeah.
same in a lot of her things. So I picked out a shot that I really liked of her. That would be a good place. And next month, I was going to talk a little bit about more collages, about doing a collage versus not a collage.
Okay.
So I'll be able to use, examples and stuff like that. But this one, if you want something that's more character centric, like this one, I will tell you, it's very, very specific to that movie, and
Okay.
it's a custom print that I did for this movie and her character. But there's also a hidden hint, a little bit inside the photo.
Ooh, now you're getting like Illuminati on us.
Now let's see here. Um, now,
So
right,
that's variant number
and
one.
then now we're going to show variant number 2 is an actress in a post-apocalyptic themed TV series. And so this one
Ooh.
will be, a custom print, with the show's title and stuff in it, and then a lot of nice room for her to sign.
Okay, so I have a question, and you can
Okay.
decide if you want to answer it or not. If it's going to give too much away. When you say supernatural movie, are we talking what we've talked about before, where it's a supernatural horror movie, or just a supernatural movie?
Well, like I said, in the photo, there is a hint. Do you see the
Okay.
photo?
The
I'm not
ghosty.
saying if that is or is not the hint, but if we were to go to the post-apocalyptic one, there's also another hint.
Well, that hint takes away my. I was gonna go just because we joked about it with the autograph from September. I was gonna go with what's her name, Maggie from The Walking Dead, because she starred in. She was the lead of that movie, The Boy, and then she obviously is in Walking Dead, so she would fit. But if we're talking about a nuclear post-apocalyptic, doesn't exactly fit.
Right. So those are the two clues. And I figure if I
Nice.
give out any more, I will say she is on this side of born on this side of 78. So me being born in December of 78, she is younger than me. That will be. I think that
Okay.
might be something I'll do. I'm like, is she older or younger than me?
That's a great one. So younger than
But she's been in a
Marco.
lot of
So
stuff.
these are what we're gonna post. Yeah. So this is what we're gonna post. We're gonna post younger than Marco. We're gonna post the lead in a supernatural film with ghosties, post apocalyptic nuclear show, and then we're gonna see what people think. Anybody in the chat right now have any guesses they want to throw out? We got Vlad. Vlad threw out Jennifer Carpenter. I don't know if that's a good guess.
He can guess all he
Um,
wants. Like you guys know, I won't confirm or deny.
no, there will be no confirmation until the Box Poppin' Beauty unboxing or the Paul Lawrence photos.
But each one of those, I think, are limited to about 25.
Nice. Well, there's about at least 23 or less left because both Paul and I bought ours. So they're down to 23 or less. I will say I feel bad. Anybody who missed out on that sketch variant from last month, whew, you're missing out. That was probably one of the best autographs I think we've ever gotten. That
Well,
was
I'm glad you
insane.
liked it. I put a lot of work into it. This month was actually pretty hard as far as like I don't know if my printer or the software wasn't working, but like there was a lot of like darker scenes and stuff, and like the colors on my screen versus the colors that were being printed, I had to like guess and change the adjustments on two of the photos, right? Because they were coming out way wrong. And so I'd have to like play with my photo
Yeah.
settings in Photoshop and be like, okay, I adjusted this setting this much. Hit print. All right. It changed it this much. Now adjust this setting. And it was kind of like a trial. And I went through it probably like 10 photos before I got to one that I was like, all right, this is close enough to what I was trying to do. And I've never had that issue
Nice.
before. And I don't know like if it was just because these two photos that I was working with kind of were darker tones or if
Mm-hmm.
because all the other photos came out perfect, right? So
Yeah, that and still that I think I mean the sketch variant for reasons that we will talk about. Let's see, that was that's October. So for reasons we'll talk about
yeah.
in December, the sketch variant's probably one of my favorite autographs we've ever gotten from you.
Well,
But
you two had just watched
I still will
the thing that it
say,
was based on like three times in the last month.
yeah, I've watched that so many times, and she's so perfect. But I will say that the Annabelle is still, I think, one of your most gorgeously done autographs. I think it's so funny that you were so
Well,
nervous about it.
it's it's just okay. I think horror fans are a lot more forgiving than other genres, right? Because
Interesting. Okay.
I guess because people go to the horror conventions and they get everybody in the cast, right? even if that person's never done any other thing in their entire life, right? If they were
Yeah.
in the movie that they loved horror wise, they want it. Where like on other shows and on other genres, if it's not like one of the three main people, they don't want it.
Yeah, I could see that. I also think, one of the things that you did, which is difficult to do with horror, you sent out an autograph that I don't think a lot of people had. And that's hard to do in horror. We have 2 boxes sitting in the room waiting for us to finish our recording setup. We have 2 from Autograph City Primetime Signatures of the horror boxes. And buying them, I knew if I didn't get one of the main hits, I was going to have every single autograph already. Because when you talk about horror, you have your staple signers,
Like you have
right?
the stuff from the Toby,
And
right?
so,
The guy does a signing every other month. Yeah.
who, Tobin Bell? Yeah, Tobin Bell signs. I mean, you got so Tobin Bell's to the point now where to excite for his signings, he's doing new inscriptions that he would never do before. Like he just for the first time ever wrote, "I want to play a game." For the first time, he's done that inscription. So, but yeah, I mean, like you, not only did you present a gorgeous autograph, but it was from somebody who, I would be shocked to hear somebody say that they had that autograph in their collection before they got it from you, and then have them say that they aren't happy
like I
to have
said
it in
too,
their
like
collection.
I stay away from the horror genre because there's already companies out there that kind of like Bambox and Zobi. They pretty much do a lot of that already, right? And it's really I'm not a big fan of the genre. And the only reason I worked with that particular actor, the Katie Sharif or whatever, was Supernatural,
Because
and
Supernatural.
also one of the agents that I had worked with in the past represented her. So it was one of those that I had a good relationship with the manager, and so she was available at the right price and everything. So it was, it worked out. But like I said, it's one of those things that, to me, I really, really try to go out of my way to make sure that I work with people who aren't staples. When I can.
No, and I enjoy that. That's what's nailed. So many of the
Well,
autographs. Really quick, I haven't looked at the comments for a second. So we've got in Box Office Media, we've got Carlos is in here. World Order Collectibles, good to see you, buddy. Hope his son's watching with him. Hey, and then we've got some. So these are the guesses, just so you know, so you see them, or so you hear them in the.
I think some of them think I'm a lot older than I thought.
Yeah, like
Before?
maybe these were put in before the comment about your age. But yeah, we've got Daniel Harris, Jennifer Connelly, Jamie Lee Curtis, Sigourney Weaver. So funny.
Danielle Harris, who's that again?
Danielle Harris is from. So she's known for Halloween 4 and 5. No. She's known for Halloween 4 and 5. She was also what I really enjoyed her in, and unfortunately she doesn't do a lot of signing because she's known for Halloween. But she was one of Manson's girls in Once Upon a Time.
I think I actually tried
Hollywood.
to do a signing with her because she was in something else. No, but
She's
there was like
lot.
something specific that I saw, and I was like, I want to work with her. That's why the name was familiar. But like I said, when you said Halloween, I was like, eh. But she played not like, she was like one of the friends in Halloween, right? In the newer ones.
Well, no, she was the main person in 4 and 5.
Okay, yeah. So I'm looking at this photo. Yeah, it's not the same person. Although,
No.
wait, yeah, she's also older.
And then she
than
was
me,
also
so.
in the Rob Zombie one. I don't think they've named anybody younger than you.
Yeah. She was in Halloween 2
That's
as
so
well.
funny. Oh, no, she was in the Halloween 2 was the Rob
Okay.
Zombie one. It was his versions of it. That's so funny though.
But yeah,
Uh,
so
so next we're gonna have to do. I mean, you said 1978,
December.
but we're gonna have to do.
December of
How
78, by the way.
how how old do you think Marco is?
It's all the gray. I'm
You
old enough
got
to
no
be a
arguments
fan
for
of
me about
Mario.
Gray. You should say
I'm
I'm
young enough
young
to be a
enough
fan
to
of
be a
Mario.
fan of Mario.
I'm also young enough to have custom artwork from graffiti artists on a trash can.
Nice.
These are one of a kind. He's a graffiti artist, and he was at doing a live painting next to my booth at San Diego Comic Con one year, and he had these trash cans that were blanks, and he would do
Mm-hmm.
graffiti on each one and sell them, and so I ended up buying one off of him. He has this really cool painting
Nice.
of a bunch of rich people playing Monopoly on the on the back of a bunch of naked people, and then like the tagline is if
Uh-huh.
like you want to change the game, you have to stand up or something. Like it's
We got Carlos in the chat said, "What is your ultimate horror queen?" His is Jamie Lee Curtis. Um, so for me, I've been enjoying the genre recently. The kind of the horror comedy genre. So things like The Babysitter on Netflix, that was really good. Ready or Not was a great movie. There's one coming out called Freaky, like a Freaky Friday
that
style
one looks
movie with
awesome.
Vince
The
Vaughn.
actress in that one, yeah,
She's in Supernatural.
I've
She'd
looked
be
in.
one I would
I
love
think
for
I've
you
put
to get.
offers out to her before because she was also in
She's
a
great.
couple other shows that I really like.
No, she's fantastic. So she was
Right, but
Claire
she
in
was. I think
Supernatural.
was it the Society that she's in? But there's like a Netflix show. Yeah,
She's been in a lot recently, but yeah, so that movie. If anybody hasn't seen it, look up the trailer for Freaky. It's a Bloomhouse, which Bloomhouse is the one doing. He's really blowing up these horror comedy ones. Happy
the
Death
Happy
Day is
Death Day. The
another one,
girl from that I looked
and
into as well.
that would be another one. See, this is why you and I have the same because her the girl who's the lead in the babysitter just she was I think the girl who's the lead in the babysitter was also the same girl who was the lead in
I,
Ready or Not.
no, I
Did you
haven't
ever
seen
see
any
Ready
of
or
those
Not?
movies, to be honest with you.
You I mean they make horror so fun. The Ready or Not was great. That was the one about the she gets married and
Right.
then they have a tradition where she has to like play a game and she pulls this card from this box that's from the devil and she gets hide and seek and it like everybody gets really upset about it because that means that they have to kill her.
If I had to get one
It's just
autograph from a female actress that was in a horror movie, Lupita Nyong'o, or
okay. If you ever got Lupita, Kendall would
well, I
lose
mean,
her mind.
right? I mean,
Kendall loves
Us
her.
was phenomenal, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, she's in Black Panther, Star Wars. I mean,
Yeah, Kendall loves Lupita.
but yeah, like that would be an awesome one. But to me, the Sigourney Weaver was in my all-time favorite horror movie, though.
Sigourney Weaver is. I don't. Would you consider Linda Hamilton a horror queen?
Terminator wasn't really a horror movie, I don't think.
I mean,
No.
it kind
The
of.
answer is no.
You don't
But I
think
wouldn't
so?
consider.
What do you guys think, Linda Hamilton?
No, I mean I think you basically it's what's Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think that's it.
Oh, Jamie Lee
Well,
Curtis and
Sigourney Weaver
Sigourney
is pretty
Weaver.
much just aliens, right? But
Yeah, but I mean, you got to
what
talk. You
I
talking
wasn't
those
even
are your
talking.
or Nev
Yeah,
Campbell.
I
What about
mean,
Nev Campbell?
to me, Sigourney Weaver, I wasn't even talking about Alien. I was talking about Cabin in the Woods. To me, Cabin in the
Oh
Woods is
yeah,
one of my
so
favorite
good,
movies of all
so good.
time.
Cabin in the Woods is one of the best
Yeah,
horror movies
just
ever
movie. You
made,
don't even have to put horror
hands
movie in it.
down. Yeah, yeah. Cabin in the Woods is
Of
put
top
Cabin on the
20.
Woods on my
Yeah.
list because Cabin in the Woods it's so on my curated box list. Cabin in the Woods was so good, so good. Um, yeah, Joss. I mean, Joss
Actually,
Whedon.
I did an
What more can you
add-on from
say?
Cabin on the Woods not, at one point. It was a picture of what's her name, where she's licking the wolf or kissing the wolf scene. Like, so it's got the wolf's head, and she's just like getting ready to like lick it. Signed by her. I
Yeah,
I gave those out one time.
that's awesome. I love going through the people who have like taken those scenes from Cabin in the Woods, like the scene of the whiteboard and then the scene in the bunkers and like picked out every single creature that they had like all the
Yeah.
homages that they did in that movie. It
I
was
mean,
just
that's my
so
favorite meme going
good.
around 2020 is like, okay, what's 2020? What's next? And it's the picture of the whiteboard with them.
It's so good. It's so funny and so true. Yeah, that one and the whoever's
Yeah,
playing
it's
Jumanji, stop it.
but so I mean, like I said, I've never really been big into horror, so it's
Yeah.
as far as scream queens, like I said, to me, it's just Jamie Lee Curtis and that's it. Because even with Aliens, I never really saw that as a horror movie. I mean, it's you know,
Yeah.
and I think Terminator is not really a horror movie either. You know, I don't know.
Alien and Terminator are very much in the same genre, basically, of this sci-fi
Yeah,
unstoppable enemy.
I don't know.
Um, but if you, I mean, you with the way you feel about Cabin in the Woods, you really gotta, when you're in that mindset, you gotta check out Babysitter on Netflix. Check
Oh,
out
Ready or
Ready or
Not, I've
Not.
seen. I do like that
They're
one.
just.
Yeah, the one girl
Oh,
in
you did
that,
see
I
Ready or
wanted
Not.
to sign her forever. Yeah.
That the main girl in that, I'm pretty sure, is the main girl from
I don't
Babysitter.
think so.
I think it's the same person.
She's the low budget Margot Robbie is what I
Let me
call her.
see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hang on, IMDb. Now I gotta look.
And that's not
IMDb,
like a negative
Ready
thing to
or
be the
Not.
low budget Margot Robbie.
No, yeah, it's definitely her. She's the same girl from The Babysitter.
Yeah.
Samara
There was
Samara
something.
Weaving.
Uh,
Yeah,
oh, the babysitter. I thought okay. There's a new one that just came out on Netflix like recently. Is that a sequel?
hmm yep.
Okay,
Babysitter Killer Queen is the
that's
sequel, and
and
they're
she's in
both
both.
fantastic.
Okay, no,
Yep,
because
she
yeah, I
is.
know she was in Bill and Ted.
But now she was
Yeah,
also
she's
in
also going to be
Bill and Ted.
Scarlet in GI Joe Origins.
Okay.
But
So basically what we're
right.
saying is you have to get her now.
Well, no, I first saw her in Smilf. Did you ever see Smilf?
Okay.
It was one of
I
those
did not.
shows, kind of like what was that one with Emily Baum? That series that she did,
I don't know which one you're talking
where
about.
it's in Boston and it has what's his name is the drunk father who's just and she like raises the other kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I think her name is
I
Emily
don't know.
Baum, right? She was in like both of them, both the
Look her
actors
up.
from that show were in Dragon Ball Z, the movie.
We don't talk about that.
But Smilf is kind of like that, where it's like this girl who wanted to play professional basketball, but she ended up having a kid,
Okay.
and so she's like
Okay.
balancing, and it has what's her name is her mom. Rosie O'Donnell plays her mom, and it's just like the
Mm-hmm.
whole. It's just so funny, but Samara Weaving plays like her super hot friend, like in the show.
Yeah, she like they. I have probably a list of these. I mean, you can. I guess you could probably call them the. Even though the babysitter, Samara Weaving plays the main antagonist, but I think you could call like this like the new generation of
Right.
scream queens. You know what I mean? And Samara Weaving is definitely up there. The girl who played Claire in Supernatural, she's getting up there. Um, the main girl from Happy Death Day, she's getting up there with it. Just this new genre of these movies. But here, I got an older one to throw out at you. By older, I mean older actress for Scream Queen. I want to see what you
Sure.
think. Are you ready? What do you think of Lynn
Don't know who it
Shay?
is.
You would she's the basically the main person from all the Insidious movies. She plays
I never
the
saw any of them.
psychic. Oh, okay. What do you guys in chat think about Lynn Shay from the Insidious movies? Do you feel like she'd be a scream queen? Would she fit the bill? I want to know what you guys think. I think that I love her as an actress. She plays Elise, and she's fantastic. We've got, let's see, in the bunker. I missed a whole bunch of stuff from Vlad. Uh, let's see. Vlad said Jason Blum saved horror, and I will 100% agree with you. Jason Blum and Blumhouse has saved the horror genre. They have brought it back into the mainstream. He is absolutely brilliant. Um, the Evil Dead remake he loved. Cabin in the Woods. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is the best horror comedy ever. Yeah, he's named, and then he's naming some other actresses, but I don't know if people. Oh, Carlos agrees with me. Says she does very much forgot about her. Yeah, I think Lynn Shay is a great new. It's interesting because she's older. Um, I know her from Insidious. I don't know if she's done. Let me see. Let's see what else she's done. She was. You know
What?
where you would know her from? Do you remember the movie? I'm sure
Yeah.
you saw Something About Mary, right? The old
Oh, I
roommate,
could
the
remember
the
it if I
tan.
tried. Like the people in it, other than
Oh, the tan, leathery skinned old lady that was Mary's roommate, the crazy one.
oops.
That's Lynn Shay.
I'll just look it up here.
She did some other stuff too. She was in the new The Grudge. She's done a lot. She basically found her niche in horror, I think, recently now. She does all horror, or a good amount of it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
She'd be a
Oh,
great.
she was
She'd
in
be a
Penny
great one to
Dreadful,
get.
City of Angels.
She'd be. Yeah, she'd be. She's one of those ones that we talk about before. Those the just one
Yeah.
of those classic autographs. I don't know that, and she's one that I don't think that I've ever seen in an autograph group before. I don't think she's a classic, and I don't think I've ever seen her in any of that stuff. So,
Well, let's see here.
oh, Vlad says she was the mom in Detroit Rock City.
But
Anyway, so tomorrow we'll have in the bunker, we'll have the post for us to debate, guess who possibly is going to be the signer for November, and we'll see if we can, without spoiling things for people, I will say the bunker is on a bit of a roll. So we'll see if we can continue that or not. This one's going to be a little bit tougher.
yeah, I was giving away way too much information, I think. But I mean, I don't know if that's a bad thing, a good thing. You know what I mean? It's just, I think sometimes it's one of those things. I think the month before it might have caused people to buy in, because I did get a lot of cancellations right after. So I think once people figured out who it was, they bought it and then canceled.
You know what though? Even though with that one, even though I was like 90%
either one
sure
of those,
that was who we were going to get, it could have been though. You know what? Based on your clues, though, it could have been what's her name who played
But that's
Claire.
what I'm saying is either one of those.
It could have been Claire.
You know, people would have been.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is like, even if it's just down to those two, right? Then
I will say there's a power. One thing I've noticed, and I want to know if you kind of agree with this or not. CW TV shows and the autograph community, there's like a power in them. If you say something about like this was an actor from this CW show, it's got a draw to it. I've noticed it in, right now, Primetime Signatures, their box this time has Supergirl, Melissa Benoit, or however you say her last name. That has a draw to it. One of the fastest sellout boxes that Autograph City ever had was because they had Jensen Ackles in the box.
see,
and so because people had a 1 in 30 shot of getting Jensen Ackles,
like, you come in like what you just said earlier, right? How you bought the box even though you know that there's only one hit. You know what I mean? It's just like, why not just buy that autograph?
Well, that's different. Those are different. So
I just meant in general,
the one that I was
like,
talking
right,
about
like,
before, where we bought it.
Like, so if you're after, like, see, this is where sometimes, especially in those higher priced ones, like you can get Jensen Ackles, like real ones, for like $200. So why not just go buy it?
You know what? It's that human nature draw. The draw that for $100, I have a 1 in 30 chance of getting a Jensen Ackles, but I'm also going to get something. I'm not gonna throw $100. Like there's those people who do those online on Facebook. They have to call them waffles because you can't say raffle for whatever reason. And those typically are you have a chance that you're throwing your money away.
Bucks. Or you might, if they are 25,
that's true.
it's like a 1 in 8. You know what I mean? So I mean, I get that. That's just straight up gambling, right? But like you said something earlier, and you were like, I bought the box even though I have all the other ones, and it's only basically one box out of all of them. And so it's just those type of situations. I can understand if.
Yeah, we bought the box for Bill. We bought the box for Jamie Lee Curtis and Bill Skarsgård. That's what we bought the box for. We bought the box hoping to get one of them. We have Nev Campbell. We have Robert Englund. Those are great hits. If we pull one of those, hell yeah. Like, I'm stoked. But we bought the box hoping to get one of those two people, because those are two that we don't have. And the funny thing is, what you're bringing up, so it was a $250 box and a $150 box. I probably could have taken that $400 and bought a Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
and a Bill
they're
Skarsgård.
Out there. I mean, I think the Bill one, I think his may be a little bit harder to get than Jamie.
But the thing is, too, that you have to think about with it is I could take that $400 and maybe get those two autographs on a good deal on eBay. But I would just be getting those two autographs, where if I take this chance, I'm going to potentially get one of those and 4 other autographs.
Right.
So that's where the draw
No, I
was.
mean, I get it. I did a Game of Thrones thing with
you're
Emilia
100%.
Clarke a few times, where
Mm-hmm.
but it so I mean I've done that in the past, but I try to avoid them. That's why it's like I want to do that kind of stuff, and I'd love to do boxes like that. It's just it's hard, like for me, conscious wise, right?
It
You know what
is.
I mean? Because like I just feel bad for the people who are not getting that. But I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you, you have a chance to get this, but then they don't get it because somebody else got it.
I mean, you and I have talked about before, though. You run into like for us personally. We've talked about this almost probably every other show that you and I have done. The Girl from Pan's
Right.
Labyrinth for us became a Grail piece, but you got
Right, well, I
Clash
think
for that one.
that one guy, the main guy that I got Clash from, he gives me Clash every month. So I think he seriously spends $20 a month just to give me crap. Yeah,
He's just your guy.
You've made it when you have one or two people that will spend money just to troll you. It's just
There you
like
go. I mean, when you're only spending three and a half Starbuckses. This is where we go back into Starbucks.
well, it's just like on this
again.
show. I want to do like I was thinking about doing some kind of Patreon or just or even
Yeah.
like where if we did it like people pay like $5 a month, but every show we give away an autograph or two to people watching live. But then again, we only
Right.
usually have like 3 people watching live, anyways.
Hey, we are up to. We've been going between
7 and
7 and 10. So yeah,
Maybe
we're
if I
killing
started giving away stuff, we'd get more
but that's
viewers.
kind of what we. There you go. Yeah, if we had giveaways,
I would have to do it where
everybody
I
loves the
give one
giveaways.
away to somebody watching live, but then give like 2 or 3 away to people who comment later. Because
There you go. Just
yeah,
random
just
surprise
because I feel
giveaways.
bad because not everybody can jump in it, when we're broadcasting.
Yeah. Carlos, he says he win a lot. Yeah, and you know what, Carlos? I don't know if you've been here when Marcos talked about why he started this, but that's exactly one of the reasons he started Autograph of the Month was getting a fake autograph off of eBay.
Yeah.
You run that. You're 100% correct. You run that risk of if you don't buy from a trusted company like, Marco or any of the other ones that the bunker partners with. You definitely run the risk of, is this legitimate? And I can tell you, I think we've all been there. I've had an autograph. Vlad knows the story. I bought Kendall a Gunnar Hansen signed pop that was Beckett authenticated. Problem is that the pop that was signed was created after he died. And Beckett still authenticated it. So not only do you have that where if you buy even authenticated, if you're not buying from a trusted source, it can get scary.
And that's what I always ask too. Sometimes like, are you real? I'm like, if not, I'm doing a horrible job of picking people to fake.
Yeah, you need to pick some way higher quality people for $20.
Like I should I would be risking my reputation on a $20 autograph, right? Like, and but yeah, the batch that I bought was 2001. eBay was just starting to be a thing, and I was just before I moved to New York. I bought George Lucas, right? Jennifer Lopez from The Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Scene. Let's see, Al Pacino, and the one I was actually most disappointed about was the Don Knotts, and it was like those 4, and then they turned out all to be bad.
Yeah, it's rough. The one that I was talking about for Carlos in the chat was Kendall and I did a 8 Nights of Hanukkah live, and her big last present was this autographed Leatherface Gunnar Hansen. I don't know, Kendall loves Texas Chainsaw Massacre, to the point that if we have a little for the 4 people that are in the chat now, you'll get a little insight. If we have a girl, our girl is going to be named after somebody from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It
So-
sucks. I was doing a convention one time, and there's these people that go around convention to convention selling fake autographs, right?
Yep.
And this little girl came to me, and she was come up to my booth, and she had just bought a Tom Hiddleston autograph from them,
Uh-huh.
and it was so bad, like the fake. And I was just like, I wanted to warn them and say something, and it's just like, it's just like, go take it back, whatever. But I just felt bad. How do you tell somebody that's so excited, and she's jumping in for joy? And I've had people buy stuff from my booth and cry because they were so excited to get the autograph. I mean, even though it wasn't like from like them at the table, like they were crying that they just got it in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and then to have somebody then later find out that it's fake.
Yeah.
That's just, I could never do that to somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
It was a rough. So it got even. So for our story, it got the way we found out is we actually sent the pop off to that company that was encapsulating pops, and at the time they were working with JSA, and our pop was Beckett authenticated, and so JSA had to look at it, and JSA are the ones that discovered this doesn't add up. They looked at the box. They were like, it's not a window swap. This pop was signed on this physical pop was the one that was signed. It's not real. And so I had to get that phone call from the company that encapsulates them saying, hey, this pop's not real. So yeah, that was so I've been there with what you're talking about, of that realization that what you have is not real.
right. And, it's just, it's such a crappy thing to do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
The conventions are probably one of the amount of fake autographs and fake Funko Pops at conventions is mind blowing.
yeah, and we've tried to get these people kicked out, but without like some kind of like proof that they're all fake, right? The owners
It's about the
can't-
money in the booth.
Yeah, they can't kick them out. Like we've had the only time that I've ever seen somebody get kicked out of a booth one time was there was a guy who again goes to every show, sells fake stuff like nonstop all the time. Most of them from dead people, right?
Yeah.
And he had this cast Star Trek: The Next Generation piece signed, right? And the whole cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation was at the show. So we basically asked them to go to the booth and tell the owners that those are not real.
That's so funny.
And when they did, they finally had something to kick him out of at least that show.
Yeah.
And he had
But
to
then
pack
they
up and
just-
leave.
They just say, we've been the Rose City Comic Con we went to, there was a whole bunch of it was even, you and I are talking about autographs and Funko Pops, but there was a huge controversy of this booth selling art prints and pins and stickers of other people's artwork from Deviant Art and stuff like that.
Right.
And they were being exposed during the convention. There was all this drama because people were at their booth taking photos and tagging the artists,
Yeah.
going, "Look, your stuff's for sale here." Like, it's that bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the dark side of conventions.
Well, it's like that's why like I never got into the band boxes and a lot of
Yeah.
those because all they're doing is going to DeviantArt, finding some piece that's done and offering the guy like $100 and then printing them. if they're even offering the person $100. You know what I mean? Like I could easily have. I mean, you know, and then they give you these prints that are like limited edition. You know, I mean, they're not licensed; they're fan art basically.
Yeah, there was one that Nick from Fearsome Figures actually showed me. I think it was Bam, but it was more the artist. Bam didn't. They didn't vet the artwork because, like you said, they found artwork that they liked. They offered the person money for the artwork. Probably they printed the artwork. They sent it out. Well, what the person had done is they had taken the pictures of like the copyrighted pictures from Trick or Treat Studios, right. And they had taken that and just
colored over it,
put like filters over it. You know what I mean? And they were like, "Oh, look, here's fan art," but it was literally the promotional pictures. Yeah. And they sent that out.
That's why if you look at a lot of the artists use the same reference photos. That's why like a lot of the people, especially like actors, you'll see them all looking the same direction, looking the same, you know, pose, because all of the artists are working off the same reference photo. And basically, they basically take it, make it transparency, so and then like fill it so it's only 25% visible, and then paint over it and fill it in like paint by numbers.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is, so you know we collect fig pin,
right?
And you can go to Etsy and find every fig pin that's ever been made exists on Etsy as people making pins because they're stock photos.
Yeah.
That fig pin, but what makes fig pin is the laser etched number and the kickstand and that stuff. But I've seen people, fig pin will announce a new pin, and then you can go to Etsy and that pin already exists because it's a licensed pose from the company.
Right.
And these are licensed photo poses that then people just use.
Right. I think I saw the first fig pin thing I think I've ever seen, aside from, when we talk about it on here. Walmart's got an exclusive for My Hero Academia, where you buy the DVD and you get the fig pin with it.
Yeah. So I I wrote my buddy and I'm like, "Hey, you gonna buy this My Hero movie?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Buy it from Walmart for me," because I need that pin.
But that's like my only experience with them. But yeah, I mean, these are all things that like when I first started out, I was so worried about that. Like, so I went to DeviantArt, right, to find artists. Like, the first artist I ever worked with was Jason Palmer. You guys are familiar with him, correct?
I think so.
Like, if you go to the Seattle show, he's the one that does the artwork of all the actors, and then they sell them and like on a print for the Seattle thing. He did all the Firefly stuff, that you see out there, But he's a big time artist and for conventions and stuff like that. And he's also like a disciple of Juice Drews, and me and him go way back. And he did the first 4 artworks for My Heroes, stuff. Hayden, Masioka, Milo, and I forget who the 4th was. But and then I found this other artist who was amazing. She was like 17, but she could draw people and animals like spot on.
That's crazy.
So I still have a lot of that original artwork, because what they do is, they would do sketches first on paper.
Yeah.
Scan them, and then they would, color over them and stuff, color them. So
the whole art world has changed with iPad now.
Right, but this was all like in 2005 or 2008, 9.
Hey, Carlos, we're Bam isn't a scam. They're not. That's not what
Oh no,
we're
yeah,
saying.
no. I'm just saying that's what they because like I said, they pay the people,
Yeah, no, Bambox. We support Bambox. They're one of our trusted companies. They're not a scam, buddy.
No, what I was saying.
All of their autographs are legit. I know personally who gets their autographs on a personal level. They are all legitimate autographs. What we were talking about is their art prints. What they'll do is they'll go to DeviantArt, find an artist that they like, and then they offer that person $100 to print their artwork for their box. So they offer them, hey, can we have the rights to this artwork? We're going to print 2,500 copies of it. We'll give you $100 for it.
And I threw out the $100 like it could be
Yeah.
way more than that. It was just the
Yeah.
first number that popped into my head.
Yeah, they're not a scam. They're a good company. What we're talking about is just one time they didn't they liked the artwork, but they didn't really look into the artwork, and that artwork ended up being the artist was more the scam. Yeah, don't freak out, Carlos. They're legit. The artwork and the artist was more the scam than Bambox was. It wasn't really Bambox should have looked into it more, but it wasn't them. It was the artist. So all of Bambox is legit, Beckett authenticated. All of their autographs are good. We know who, or like I said, I know personally who obtains the autographs for Bambox, and it's all good, buddy. You don't got to worry about them. I've actually liked the direction they've been going lately. But they're another one, like when we talked about Marco getting, hey, don't rub on the microphone. Marco getting flack sometimes for a $20 autograph. Bambox is another one. People sometimes forget that their box only costs $30. And so technically they're pretty similar to Marco's box costs $20. You don't get all the throw-ins that Bam does. But I wish Marco had the following that Bam had.
Be awesome. Well, I think what it is
Marco
is
could do some crazy stuff if he had the following that Bam had.
Yeah, it's just, to me, right, I've only ever just, the way my system works, I don't ever know who is officially going to be the next month's signer till about, like, a few weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
And so it's like, for me to be able to be like, giving out those hints and stuff to ahead of time, like, and I guess that's the other problem is marketing wise, when you can market like, oh, the autograph is from one of these 5 properties, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not giving it away, but everybody's always going to assume it's the biggest property on the list. Where I'm the opposite. I'm going to assume it's going to be like the least known property on the list.
That was what I would say the newest. We haven't opened ours yet, but sometimes, unfortunately, we see spoilers sometimes. I know the newest BAM controversy is kind of exactly what you're talking about. BAM did a whole marketing line for their Geek Box of autograph Funko Pop inside. And all the marketing had one of the themes on it. Only one. So it said like autograph Funko Pop inside, Harry Potter theme.
Right.
So the human mind goes autograph Harry Potter Funko Pop. Right?
Right.
But they were just saying Harry Potter's a theme and we're guaranteeing a Funko Pop. So that caused a little bit of drama in it.
And see, that's my problem is it's hard to just autographing is such a niche, and so them having all the things like the prints and the pens is something that they could market as well. The T-shirts before, I think they don't do the T-shirts anymore.
No, I will say though too, there is a market for it. If you are lucky enough in a BAM box, because we are not pin collectors, we talked about it before, we don't collect pins, except Big Pin, but we don't collect the regular pins. But if you get a variant pin, people collect those like crazy, right. Those variants. So, Carlos, did you? Carlos says he's gonna join up with Autograph of the Month Club. Did you join last one? Did you get, without spoiling what it was, did you get October's? I don't know, but October's was insane.
But it's but so for me it's like from a marketing point, like I can't because my stuff's month to month. You know what I mean? Like I can't
Yeah.
spend like $1,000 or like $5,000 on a Facebook campaign to get a bunch of subscribers. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
because I can't be very specific what theme it is, and because of me not narrowing it, being able to narrow down exactly what my box is,
Mhm.
right? A lot of people won't even bother because they want to feel more comfortable with what at least the genre, or at least you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
with me, it could be anything, right? It's just
I
TV and
just like
film.
I like the fact too that what you do with the variants. I know you did the add-on. Sometimes you do add-ons that aren't the variants, but I know like the variants lately have been a lot of fun. So that's been an enjoyable part for us.
Yeah, it's just like I said. It's just so for me, it's hard to market because I can't say like, hey, we're just a sci-fi themed autograph, right? We're just
Mhm.
horror themed, like we're just, and that is what kills, I think, my ability to market. Because every time I've ever tried to market, it's never worked because I, you know, I don't have anything to market other than it's a TV film autograph.
Yeah, because you want to keep it as much of a mystery as you
And I
can.
want to work with
Uh,
people and I want to have the flexibility to work with anybody. You know what I mean?
so with November's is November's one that you had been going after, or is November's one that fell in your lap, or
It's a combination. Like it's somebody.
okay,
I will say we've talked about one of the shows that she was in on this podcast a couple times.
that does not narrow it down at all. You know the amount of shows that you and I have talked about.
So, so the problem was I could not get a screen or a photo of any kind of quality of her from it. So like
Okay,
I couldn't get a photo signed for me to have her sign for me, but I'll be excited to talk to her about it. Her time
nice.
on the show.
That's I look forward to. We talked about the September signer, so when we get into November, we can start talking about September
Well, I
signer.
figure we could talk about it
Um,
next week.
okay, well, I mean, pretty much next week is basically November, almost. We're
I
super
was
close,
like,
but
don't
yeah,
scare me, because like, okay, good, because yeah,
I look
I'm gonna start
forward.
shipping on the probably the second or the third. So I
Nice,
was like, because I just hopefully I'm gonna get the autographs back this time next week, so to start
nice.
prepping.
Yeah, I look forward to. There's a specific story that I look forward to you sharing that you learned from September signer that I kind of know a little bit about it already, but I look forward to hearing more about it. So, um,
But
and I look forward to you getting to share it with the with with our 5 to 10
yeah,
viewers.
well, like I said, I like the flexibility of not
Yeah,
having a specific uh, genre that I have to fulfill each month. You know what I mean?
yeah,
To me, this club is for pure autograph collectors.
absolutely. I agree
You're
with that.
not, you know what I mean? And again, I could go down the simple route of just working with people who's already done conventions and shows all of the time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but I'm so one of the struggles that I have to do is every time I work with a new agent or manager is teaching them what it is I do.
yeah. Explain the difference of what you do versus what a normal
You know,
private signing.
well, private signing or going to a convention. You know, because
Hmm.
they all talk like, well, I can get this much money for doing a convention. Well, yeah, but you're going to be doing this signing in the time it takes you to get from your house to the airport. You know what I mean? Like from your house. So it's like you're not taking an entire weekend to of
Yeah.
your life. You know.
Carlos came up with a tagline for you. Carlos's tagline is "Movie Star Autograph of the Month Club." Your mystery box to the stars.
Nice. See
That's a
the
good one.
problem is by using the word star, everybody has a different definition of star.
Then they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get an A-lister for $20."
See, that's the problem that like in the crypto world right now,
Yeah.
part of the problems that we have in crypto is people's using the same word but having a different definition, right?
Okay.
So like
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's own
like
personal.
there's a word called decentralization, right? And so I
Mhm.
was trying to have a conversation with the guy, and he was like, "Well, how do you see this as being decentralized or not decentralized?" I'm like, "Well, your version of decentralization versus my idea of decentralization is two different things. So we can't even
Yeah.
have a conversation until we agree on that term. Otherwise, we're going around in circles." So that's the biggest problem is that when people don't agree or on subjective words like star,
Mhm.
like and again that's the biggest problem that I have. Like when we were talking about supernatural, right? The genre. Well, somebody's like for example, let's say we shared that this was a supernatural themed, right?
Mhm.
But then I put that there was a ghost. Well, a purist could be like, well, then that's paranormal, not supernatural. And somebody's like,
Yep.
well, paranormal is supernatural. No, paranormal means that science can't prove it, but it's feasible. And supernatural, just there's no supernatural could never be proven because it's just too far fetched.
Yeah. Now you're going down the rabbit hole.
And it's literally though I was researching that
Yeah.
exact conversation, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like again, and then people can complain. It's just I get it because sometimes I send out like little reviews, like tell me what you thought about this month, and
Mhm.
sometimes I even get like 1 star just because like well I liked it, but I would have preferred it from this photo or something like on this type of photo or
Yeah. And then you're getting super
well
specific.
that's the thing is too is it's just people when it comes to ratings like don't understand how
Mhm.
rating systems work, right? Like when they start with I loved it, but I gave you a 1 because I didn't know that that photo from that property, right?
Yeah.
But well then how did you give it a 1 when you said you loved it still?
So we got Carlos. We got Carlos in here, obviously. So Carlos did get the October signer. So Carlos, with boxes and stuff like that, like um, being $20 a month for, again, without spoiling who the October signer was. What did you guys think? Did you like the October signer? Did you like the photo that Marco had them sign? What was your feeling about that? Does it, because if it doesn't match up with what we expressed when we opened it, and while we're waiting for the stream lag.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that
I have a
I'm
plan.
always excited to see what you. I think it's almost it. Part of it is the fun of what did Marco pull off this month.
See, and I like that. And that's kind of the reason why I want like doing this show
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And I think I have a plan. I've started putting it into motion. Like I showed you, I changed the website from
Yep.
shop.258 West,
Mm-hmm.
and then having 258 West be a landing page.
Yep.
And I also want to have been having a problem where some people sign up right after the first of the month, and then
They want to know where their product
right,
is.
and I usually send them. It's all over the website and it's all over. But and then I
Mm-hmm.
usually send them a letter. But what I want to do then is basically have that letter be a page that they get right away. That like that they
Okay.
click on and it explains like and I think what I do is I've got some ideas and some strategies and I think there's this new thing going around called the link tree. Have you seen that?
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want to set up kind of a link tree, and that's kind of what I want the 258 West site to be, in a sense. Is kind of a
I think that's a good. That's a good. You know, it's your catch-all starting point.
yeah, and that's why I've
I
always
like that.
envisioned it that 258 West was like this umbrella, for everything and whatnot.
I guess Carlos missed out on October. Ah, so did you see our video on October's, Carlos? Um, I think that, again, so typically with Marco, we don't talk about on these live shows, we don't talk about the signer
2
until
months.
about 2 months later. So October's, we'll talk about, since it was October 1st, we'll talk about it the last week of November, first week of December, because he has international people. Don't jump up there. Go away. Um, but if you saw ours, I'm curious to know what you think of it, because I know for us personally, you compare box prices and just it blows my mind what Marco pulls off for $20. $20. I mean, go back into see Marco's a firm believer that the future of currency is crypto, but what he fails to see is that the future of currency is actually Starbucks. Because we already compare everything we buy to Starbucks.
Right.
So we're just going to be exchanging Starbucks gift card money in the future.
You know, the IMF just had a meeting yesterday and voted for Bretton Woods Project 2.0. So, do you remember what the first Bretton Woods event was?
No.
After World War II, they came up with like a global economy,
Okay.
right? The International Monetary Fund, as a way to help smaller countries be commercially viable, right? And help funding them. And so they came up with what's called the gold standard. So every US dollar was worth X amount of gold, right? And
It's Starbucks.
since the US owned 2/3 of the world's gold,
Okay.
well, then in the 70s, Nixon pulled us out of that because we were pretty much lost all of our gold because countries kept saying, we want to exchange your dollars for actual gold. And so he changed it to oil, right? So the
Okay.
American dollar is worth oil now. And that's when OPEC was started. And that's why we were in the Middle East and, controlling the flow of oil. Because
Yeah.
if they flooded the market with oil, then the value of the dollar would go down. And now that's not even a thing because oil is worthless now. And so what's happening is the US dollar is basically backed by debt, and it's just a thing. So the
Yeah.
world is coming together and saying, hey, we no longer want the US involved in money. Because we would go around and say, look, and start like sanctions and saying don't deal, like we would throw around our big stick because all debt has to be paid in US dollar. So other countries couldn't just print more of their money, right, and pay us off, right? They'd actually have to buy things from our country or sell things to our country and get US dollar back in order to pay us back. And so what the IMF is doing is they want to switch everything to a digital currency and get away from the US dollar. And the US is like, hold up. Let's slow this down. Europe's like, we want to be in charge. And China's like, we're already doing it. Because China and Russia have already come up with their own system. So everybody's fighting and pulling to see who's going to be the next thing. And that's where Bitcoin, right? Because nobody can print more of it and it's a finite resource, right? Will become the reserve currency of the future, right? That all countries trade on a high level because there can never be more of it, right? This is a fixed amount of it. So if your country is starting to slack off, right, you can't just go print more Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And so but all this just happened like this week, and even PayPal just announced today that the first quarter of next month they're going to start letting people buy crypto with their PayPal accounts. Square's already been doing it, and also in the last 2 months, a lot of the Fortune 500 companies, right, have a lot of cash, right, have been buying Bitcoin in bulk.
I know that Robinhood, which does the stock stuff, does Bitcoin purchasing now too.
Yeah, kind of.
But that's what I'm trying to say though. Like, I get that that's what you guys are all doing, but the true currency
It's Starbucks.
and the true measurement of a U.S. dollar is Starbucks
Well,
drinks.
I was trying to think before I went on my little rant of what happened this week. What was the currency in Idiocracy?
Oh God, what was it?
Did they have a currency, or was it just like?
I forget what it was. But that's the thing. Like, we not just Autograph of the Month Club, but like everything that we do. We talked about this last week. We compare. Autograph of the Month Club costs 3.5 Starbucks.
Right.
So if you can go 3.5 days without, I've got a cat crawling up on me. If you can go 3.5 days without Starbucks, you can afford Autograph of the Month Club. If you can go a week without Starbucks, you can afford a nice dinner.
Or if you just took your entire holiday budget for the year and just spent it on Autograph of the Month Club, you can get all your gifts without any shopping done.
There you go.
Because I guarantee you, each month there'll be at least one person you know who the autograph would be perfect for.
At least that's how it works for us. We have our gifts are being done the holidays. We've already put one of October's aside for a gift. So for Kendall's mom.
And that's how I used to sell it at conventions. You know, like, hey, when people come to the table, like, you need a gift for somebody, right? You know, you're just before you leave, somebody asks you to pick something up for them. You know, what are they a fan of?
Mm-hmm.
And that was always my thing at conventions. But it was hard.
It really works out.
It was hard at conventions because you're dealing with so many people selling fakes. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, how do you compete with people like that? Because it was costing almost, before I quit doing conventions, it was getting up to about $2,500 to do a convention. And I was barely selling that much. So I was losing money every single time.
Yeah, a lot of the time, most of the people that are on the resale artist alley things are taking a loss with conventions, unfortunately.
And what it is they're living off of their old inventory. So it's like, so they're making enough off of their old inventory to pay their bills, right?
Yeah.
And just enough to buy some new stuff, but never enough to actually, like, move on to something else. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
So I saw the writing on the wall, and I was like, I don't want to be doing this 20 years from now. I'm like, you know. But all right, well, I think
we've gone forever.
I wouldn't say forever. We went for just the right amount of time, which
There you
is 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Our half hour to 1 hour show. Anyway, so yeah, for everybody, just to fill you in, to close it up clean, Autograph.deals, curated boxes, surveys. Have fun. Don't tell Marco exactly what he should put in the box or he won't do it.
Because that's no fun, right?
It's not
You could
fun.
just go buy
tell
it.
them what you like. Yeah, so Autograph.deals, curated boxes, Autograph of the Month, November, lead in a supernatural film and in a post-apocalyptic themed TV series. We will have a question tomorrow in the bunker trying to guess who it is, see if we can keep up our streak, our perfect streak of 2 for 2.
Now,
We'll try to go to 3
I
for
will
3.
just preface it, on the TV series was not a lead.
Not a
was
lead on
co-star, like was in it for a lot of the episodes.
It's hard to be.
But
It's hard to be a
not the
lead,
main, like,
lead in a TV series. Yeah. So anyway, we'll have that. So go check that out. And this will probably be the last time. I think we have one video that we recorded in this room. That's the last video in this room. So say goodbye to the room. There
Goodbye, room.
you go.
All right, guys. Thanks again for watching.